Right, I'm back. We are still having massive problems with Xbox Live. We don't know what's going on. Me and Swishbone just cannot connect to each other. So he's got a channel. He's got his channel 2 stream. I've got our channel 1 stream. I'm going to try and persuade him to try and reset his router if possible, so we can get on. So I'm going to quickly send him a text whilst we get out onto the track. But it's always a technical issue, isn't there, every week? So glad to see you're all stuck with it, and a lot of you are watching and enjoying the chat. Wallace 99, Jonathan Saunders, Crazy Fish is here. Crazy Fish, sort it out. It is online. Yes, exactly. Refresh the page. Right, so LGS has done 28.4 flying at the moment, and he is... see if we can... oh, I've got bad timing today. Timing screens are not very helpful. Smithy Lad is in P5. F1 Nigel's yet to do a lap. We have got Ice Cold Andy running incredibly wide at... I don't know. Why is he going so slow? He's on an out lap, but a slow one at that. Right. Still freezing. Shouldn't be. Might just be your inset. I don't know what the quality of it is for you guys. But right, I'm on board with Smithy Lad. He's at 36.9 on his first lap. He's on the prime tyres. He runs through the middle sector. Seems to be not too bad. Swishbone at this rate, but let's watch Smithy's final corner. Make sure he doesn't hit that LG sign. Goes round. Seems to be a reasonably clean lap of what I've seen, and he does a 130.8 on the primes. Not bad, but LGS is absolutely rapid at the moment. 3 tenths quicker than Jambo, and Lining's crept into the 29s, which is good to see because I know he's been struggling. Andy currently in P7, yet to set a time. Good evening, Rusty. Yes, we're having technical issues. Pre-show went off fantastically, but since then, me and Swish cannot actually connect to each other to Xbox Live parties at the moment. So I've had to reset my router, and hopefully he will as well. Jambo's getting a bit held up on his lap, but probably not yet, as the Mercedes goes off to one side. Swishbone is still not resetting his router. Hopefully I want him to do it before the end of qualifying, so I think that's what the issue is. Jambo now is warming his tyres up, and he's going to go off for another lap. Rusty, I'd love to have a chat with you after the race. I thought I'll give you a cheeky invite to a party at 6 o'clock and hope that you're appearing offline, but you obviously weren't online, so it'd be nice if we could have a chat at some point. We're going to see if I can... and he can hit a 27 on the primes. Is that a joke, James, or... I can't do that. I can't do that at all the pace. Ridiculous. Chris, can you somehow get the message to Swishbone that he needs to reset his router? I don't think Chris is there. If he's... Can you just maybe put in the chat or something? Yeah, join his party and just say reset the router. I will give him an invite. The worst comes to worst, he'll just join the game and not the party. But I think it's just a reset of the router. Rusty's agreeing. I've reset my router. I think it's his because he seems to have poor connection to people at the moment. Everyone's filing in. Team Mattable's on a lap though. Option tyres 130.0 is his best lap. I think that's on the prime, so hopefully we should see a significant improvement using DRS and the rest of his curves going round. There's a slight kink in the DRS straight. Uphill braking zone, you can brake so much later than what you think here. Very, very tight and difficult corner. Oh, and Team Matable loses the back end, gets a little bit too much curb, and he loses the rear of the car, and, well, goes wide and on grass, and that is his lap done. I have timing issues at the moment. No one's actually out on the track, or if they are, no, that's the end of the session. That's why there's no one on the track. Sorry, guys. Been such a busy session, but LGS takes pole on the 28.4, 3/10 ahead of Jambo. Andy only mustering a lowly mid-place grid start. Thanks for all the support tonight. 19 viewers is an absolute, for a mid-season race, it's absolutely fantastic. I hope you really enjoyed the pre-show. We're going to try and get Swishbone in before the start of the race, but I don't know. I can't hit a 28.5, James. I can't hit a 29. I can only do 30s at the moment. So I am in trouble tomorrow. I need to get a bit more practice. Maybe a day off work is in order. Swishbone has sent me a message. Let's see what that says. That is true. Right, let's hope Pete can get in. He is fantastic for our commentary. Any viewing on the Xbox 360 app? I think Chris is. Mr. Ice Cold Andy has sent me a message. What does he want? Lightning impeded me at the chicane, hence the 1 minute 30. Oh, interesting. We'll have to get a word with both of those two. In fact, I better write that down before the start of the race. Right, well, we're hoping for an absolutely fantastic race. We're going to quickly go into the game just to say good luck to all of the drivers.
Last 30.
Hi, everyone. Right, we are having crazy issues tonight with our... me and Pete can't connect to each other. So what's going to happen is we'll both be showing separate streams. He will reset his router after about 5 laps. So if he loses connection, that's why. And then hopefully he can join my party. And then we'll stream together. But good luck. Okay. Hopefully it'll be a good race. And Andy, I got your message.
Ooh, love note.
It's probably...
Right, so the race is about to get going for round 9 of the XRL F1 Division. A bit of a light grid this week. I was hoping for better, but I know that from next week we are going to get much better grids. At least 2 more, at least 12 out of the 14, if not better than that. We've got a good amount of people watching the race, and this should be an absolute cracker. We've got no Andy at the front. LGS took pole. Very, very well done to him. Jambo on the front row of the grid. So this is a good situation for the lesser runners of the division. We've got Steve-O 10th, Robbo 9th, Lewis Hamilton in 8th. 6th is Andy. And LGS got off to a decent start. It's Jambo's under pressure from both Mercedes drivers going into turn 1. Jambo, though, has a think about the inside. Nudges LGS a little bit wide. The Mercedes goes a little bit wide as well at the end of turn 1. But Jambo's lost a couple of places. Down the grid he goes. And Lightning's got an absolute corker of a start. He is in P2. Oh, got a Sauber getting a little bit deep on the Force India there. Force India's let back through. And that Sauber of Team Aspel's going to lose a couple of positions extra. F1 Nigel's in P3. P4 is Jambo, but he's under pressure from his teammate Ice Cold Andy, who's going to try and overtake him around the outside. And what a move from Ice Cold Andy there. We've got Team Aspel in P6, who's also going to have a go at Jambo, but I think he's not quite got the pace. And I think that's going to be holding stations there as we go around the hairpin. Team Aspel's having a look down the inside. He might use a bit of his curves, the remaining part of his curves. He doesn't, so he does lose his position. And there we are. What an exciting first few corners. Rusting up to watching it on the app. We've got Smithy Ladd under pressure from Robbo, who definitely gets a little bit too much there. And now 3 side by side. Andy's move, lap 1, was an absolute corker of a move. Smithy's now under pressure from Mr. Steve-O. Mr. Steve-O goes around the inside of there, but he's going to have to go around the long way at the chicane. He does. Oh, he has to give the. He might have to give that place back though. He can't cut over the curve like that. He'll say that the position was probably done. As we have the Red Bull at the back there of Lewis Hamilton, who's had an absolutely dreadful start. Championship runner-up at the moment is currently down in last. So with both of his rivals doing well, Andy getting up a few places and F1 Nige in the podium positions, this is not good for him to be running dead last. Robbo's in P9 on the option tyres on his return, or his temporary return I should say. But this is all very, very close. We know this every week we race. There's a decent amount of people in the lobby, not quite the full amount, and there never has been quite the full amount so far this season, but it's always been very, very close stuff there. Always give us such good racing with these top guys. Smithy currently in P8 trying to fight his way through. Robbo on the options behind him. I would think he's got a good chance of making the move here. If he can get, he's going to try around the outside here. Last late breakers, he goes deep, keeps it just on the track, but unfortunately for him, Smithy keeps the position. I would like to get further up there because I know the battles are everywhere at the moment, but these at the back, we shouldn't really be at the back. These guys are fighting it out. I think Robert's got a good chance. He runs deep at the chicane, and there's a bit of a gap, so we will go a bit further up the pack now. We've got Smithy Ladd in P8, who has just got away for a little bit. Team Matterbull's under a bit of pressure from the emerging Mr. Steve-O, who's now got up to P6. Well, he's lost that now to Team Matterbull because he's used just over half his curves, and he's going to get to the corner in first. No, not even side by side. So Team Matterbull gaining a place there, though he is under pressure on those prime tyres. We have got Jambo and P5. Mr. Ice Cold Andy hasn't really got away from him like I thought he might. And these two have a little bit of a gap to P3, who I believe is F1 Nige. Well, no, it isn't. It's XRL Lightning, his teammate. So Lightning's dropped the position, and Nige harassing the leader, who is LGS. And let's see, we've got primes for F1 Nige. Options for LGS. So this could be an absolutely fantastic situation for F1 Nige if he can hang on with him. He's currently in P4. We've now got Jambo in P5. Hoping Swishbone might disconnect him there, and hopefully we can get him in the party, because two voices are definitely better than one. And we all know how good Swishbone is as commentary. Jambo is now in P5, and he must only just have DRS. But his teammate, on the other hand, Ice Cold Andy, is starting to get very, very close to the back of Lightning. might well have a go. He's got half of his Kers left, as well as DRS on this back straight, so you would think he might have a move here. DRS is activated. He's got Kers. He's going to go around the outside, going into turn 1, going down the dip, and coming to the braking point about 100 metres before the actual corner you need to brake. Lightning goes way, way too deep, trying to defend his position, and there you go, nice easy move for Ice Cold Andy, who has now moved into the podium places. But up front we've got F1 Nige, who's made the lead and has got up to the front of the pack and is leading this German Grand Prix. Can LGS give him a hand with Ice Cold Andy? Yeah, I can't do that. You can't join that either, Rusty. You can't join a private chat or a party. Hopefully he'll reset his router in a couple of laps' time anyway. That hopefully will resolve the issues. Having connection problems to a lot of people so far these last few weeks. Andy's now in P3. He's got a bit of a gap to make up. Lightning, who said he was struggling this week, has made a big announcement on the forums, has now into P4. He's dropped down a couple of positions after his decent start, but he's in a good position, and there's no reason as he goes a little bit wide there. Can make the car slip and slide on the exit, and now he's under pressure from Jambo on the prime tyres. Jambo, DRS, a little bit of Kers. Lightning pushing for the boundaries, but I don't think he can defend that. Lightning braking late, but Jambo, it's his corner. But good little battle between the two there. Jambo keeps the position. You'd expect Lightning to brake slightly late here. Side by side round here. I don't know who's going to get the DRS. You would think probably it is Lightning who's going to get DRS. He might use a bit of Kers as well to try and make the position, but he hasn't used any Kers yet. Jambo makes his intentions perfectly known. He's going to the inside. Lightning is going to get back and cut back on him, and that is move done. I would have said he's not letting him get back onto the track, and he's got the position. Team Mansell now is in 6th place. He is the start of this train of cars that has championship contender, or 2nd place in the championship, Lewis Hamilton, still fighting at the back of the race. You would think so, Rusty. I think it might be. It's only just all of a sudden come up in these last couple of weeks, though, so it's something that's a little bit odd. I don't understand why that's happening. Hopefully he'll, as I say, back out. Otherwise, I'm going to get a very dry voice trying to emulate. Speaking for the amount of time Swishbone does, I need a drink up here. Already, we're only 5 laps in. But these front two have gone away. Andy hasn't quite got away from the... Oh no, Andy has got away. He's all over the back of LGS. 4th and 5th in Lightning and Jambo. And then you've got this bit of a train. It's a 2 and a 3 effectively. We will get to that, but Jambo looks like he might have another go. Now I would wait to get the DRS a second time, hold the Kers, make this a much easier overtake than it was last time. Good to see so many viewers, 20 people watching online live on twitch.tv or on XRL TV. It's absolutely fantastic to see during the mid-season how many people are turning up and give us such good support, and it makes us feel very, very proud and want to do it every week. And Pete is... I would say you should give that piece back, my friend Lightning. I don't know. It's quite a close one, that. Because Jambo definitely ran wide. I think everything sorted itself out. We will write that down now. Lap 6. So this is P3 and 4. The top 2 ran away. But what interests me is who's the car that's already pitted? Is that LGS on those option tyres? Those options just going nowhere near as far as what they say they do. And Team Ass will lose place to Robbo there. He'll be gutted about that one. He should be fighting much higher up the grid than this. Most of the GP2 guys can go faster than this. I know James Nutters can, Bobberts can. I can go faster than Team Ass boys at the moment. Come on! And if I can, probably half the division could as well. Team Aspel trying to force him wide. I think that's a little bit unfair from Team Aspel and has not given the place. Just braked a little bit late. Lewis Hamilton up into P8. He's made one move, and that's on Smithy, and Smithy's teammate LGS has made his first stop after just 5 laps on those option tyres. Lewis Hamilton is all over the back of these like a hawk now. Lewis Hamilton losing the rear of the car and has lost that place back to Smithy. I don't think Smithy could have done anything about that. He was already losing the rear end of the car. Smithy runs, gets a bit of, I wouldn't say it's a corner, it wasn't for the cut, but it hasn't really gained him anything. He's all under pressure by Lewis Hamilton. And that's a move. So Smithy, the two McLaren's not doing so good now. One's had a pit stop, one hasn't, and I'd expect LGS to get out there. Swishbone has backed out, so hopefully we'll see him back online in a second. And he'll be able to join the party, we hope. Lewis Hamilton needs to get his skates on because he's in a bad position at the moment. Robbo's in P6, overseeing this battle between Mr. Stevo, who's doing a good job, and will be racing tomorrow night in the GP2 division with a couple of our new friends from ARL who are going to race in that. So it should be really good. Hopefully one or two of them are watching tonight, so if you are, give us a shout. I know Ryan Wallace is his name, or Ryan W. Is watching tonight, and I hope you're enjoying the action. Mr. Stevo starting to get a bit impatient behind Lightning. These tyres need to go to lap 16 apparently. Well, that isn't going to happen. These tyres wear off so quickly. And Stevo has got so much better traction. He doesn't use much of his curves. He leaves it and stays behind. But the top three are rather split, but there's a big battle here for 4th down to about 8th. Nearly 9th. Get a message from Pete saying it'll be 5 minutes. Hopefully we'll get him back anytime soon. Mr. Stevo braking slightly late here. Gets better traction again though. His tyres have got so much better traction out of the slower corners. He's going to have trying to go around the outside, but lost a bit of time. And now the Ferrari of Robbo's all over. These three on the options. Robbo might try and late brake here and try and get past Stevo, and he does. Great move there from Robbo. Stevo was looking like he was going to make the move on Lightning, and he doesn't. That's an absolute corker of a move from Robbo. And he's now having to defend viciously from Stevo. Team Aspel's trying to get in here. Oh, Mr. You can't do that. And he's given that position back up. Being too brave as everyone's starting to dive into pits. Robbo, Lightning, make the pit. That looked like Lightning went in very deep, and he's lost a bit of his end plate there. Right, so let's get a bit further down the grid. And we've got LGS now starting to make the positions up. He's down to P6. We've got a few cars in the pits. We've got a third. LGS making a rather easy move on Smithy. I don't know why. That looked a little bit too easy, like team orders maybe. Team Aspel now in P7. He keeps making a few errors here and there. Then you've got the 3 drivers, and we've got, oh no, we've got Lewis Hamilton here, who's made a bit of an error on the last corner. He hit the last corner plumb on, and he has broken his wing. He is now down into last. He's going to have a pit stop, and he needs a safety car or something to happen, because he's now, look at that, the lack of wing. 2nd place in the championship. This is not good for his chances, and boosts Andy's chances no end. Let's hope he continues. There's 51 laps left this race. I know it might be for only a point, but let's hope for him anyway that he continues and hopefully gets up the grid. And maybe, you never know, a safety car may come out. He may find the pace, or someone else may do that. F1 Nigel, though, in the lead. He now has Ice Cold Andy just a couple of seconds behind, and the lap time, Andy is the quickest in the race by half a second a lap. Oh, his fastest lap that is Jambo in P3 for the Force India. Now, he says he doesn't like that Force India. P3 is good. Whatever anyone says, P3 is good. Steve-O's in the pits now. We've got Smithy following. We've got Swishbone who's back again, so we will get Swishbone back. I can get a drink to quench the thirst of speaking so much. This is much more than usual for me because you usually get Swishbone chatting a lot. So good to hopefully get him in the party. I've sent him an invite. Go away. Right, let's get back out onto the track. Lewis Hamilton loses connection, and I'm not surprised after that. I think that's the wrong attitude, but I can see why. He was way back, and hopefully he has a better week next week. Just seems as if he was a bit unprepared. He was at the back pretty much all race, so. Lewis, Sean.
Alright, mate.
Last corner got you?
Yeah, second to last corner, I braked and then locked up my wheel, went straight forward. I was like, oh, alright, I'll carry on. But slow down a bit, and then when I come out of the corner, it disqualified me.
Oh, so someone's been disqualified in my absence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it all there, it's alright. It was just Lewis Hamilton, he broke his wing on the last corner and had to do a whole lap without it. Robin makes a rather easy move on Smithy there. But glad to see that you're back, Pete.
I think it's matchable.
I seriously don't understand what's going on, Dan. It's crazy. Sorry, Lewis, go on.
On the last corner, I don't know what Matable doing on that corner.
I saw it a couple of times. He was just late braking a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then when you go around the outside, I don't know what he's doing. That corner, he feed you to the left-hand side before the long straight, and then he was on my inside, and then he blamed me for pushing out. I was like, I don't know.
Well, second in the championship, that isn't going to be second anymore after tonight's performance. Do you think you can fight Nige after tonight's poor race?
I'll try my best. That's all I can do.
Well, we hope to see you back next week, and hopefully back on your top form like you were last week at Silverstone at Budapest. Yes. So get a bit of practice in.
One of my favourite tracks.
Good. I expect to win now. You said that, right?
I don't know about that. It's
Andy will be quick everywhere.
Yeah, he's pretty quick. Yeah.
But
so I expect on a podium at least.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Right, hence waiting for. Well, in the meantime, now, Mr. Steve on 94 is getting a fantastic run on XRL Lightning, heading down towards the DRS zone. XRL Lightning chops across from the outside, perfectly entitled to do so because he was ahead. And Steve kind of yielded a bit too easily there. I thought he made it a bit more difficult. But DRS flap is now active, and Mr. Steele's got a great chance going down towards the chicane. I don't think he's going to make the loose stick here, but it's a great chance to stay close and then affect the pass on the pit straight. At least that's the intelligent strategy. Also, apologies for all of you on Channel 2. We are now back live there, courtesy of GT Omega Racing and gamebot.co.uk. Why do we keep getting these issues? Every single week we seem to hit some kind of brick wall.
I know. Pre-show was fantastic. Getting into the lobby nice on time. So it's just a shame that we had the connection issues between me and you, and the fact that we've got a bit of a light grid tonight. I know for a fact we will have a lot more people next week, but it's just a shame that the likes of a confused Emu and Danny Pearce can't even mention to us why they can't race this week. And that's not on.
Well, as I say, I don't know the full stories here, so I'm not going to say anything. I will say to all you people watching on Channel 2, we are using a new system to try and get better sound. But so far, I don't know if it's working properly. So please, if you're on there, tell me what you think. Tell us if you think the sound's okay. And then we'll do our best to keep things going. Because we've come up with a possible ingenious solution to having to have a microphone under my TV. So in the meantime, Mr. Steel on 94, closest battle on track here with XRL Lightning and the Mercedes. A fantastic run through to Schumacher S's there. He had so much more confidence in the car, but XRL Lightning quite rightly defending his line there, giving him just enough room, making it awkward as he can. But XRL Lightning goes a bit wide there, and that gives Mr. Steve a chance to get the run under DRS through the kink. Great toe here for XRL Lightning's wing, and he's heading down towards the outside. Oh, XRL Lightning goes a little wide there and misses the chicane. He's got to be careful he doesn't do that too often, otherwise that will be seen as gaining an advantage, and if you're doing that, you will get a penalty.
Yeah, definitely. He just tried to late brake, and really he should give that place up, and if really Steve-O doesn't make the move now, I would be quite inclined.
Well, Steve-O's got a great chance here. DRS flat totally wide open, coming into the hairpin. He's forced Lightning right to the outside,
Good
completely muscled his way around. And at the same time, Lightning's just not got the traction to fight back. As you say, an excellent move.
Well, yes, guys, if some of you could go on to Channel 2, we have got a new technique to get Swishbone's the quality of the audio improved. So if you could just take a bit of time to get on there, but I don't know how many people you got watching on yours, but we've got a really good turnout tonight. 20 plus.
I had Rusty watching on mine, but I've no idea who else is watching. It's just a pity that we had that issue, otherwise it would have been great. If you did watch on Channel 2, I was getting very breathless commentating on my own. And that clip will be up on the stream to watch on the website. So if you do want to check that out, after the race is over, you will be able to see that. It's a short clip, and I'm sure you'll all enjoy it. So in the meantime, XRL Lightning's fallen back a little bit from Mr. Steve-O 94 now. Evidently Steve-O was being held up, which I find strange, because Lightning's only just come out of the pit. So maybe his tyres aren't at the temperature, or maybe Steve-O's just got that more confidence when the race gets going. It's one of those things, really. We all have respond differently in races, don't we?
Definitely. What did you make of those first few laps? Motorsport Nerds.
Crazy. I was watching that five-car duel for 10th place to 5th. It was almost impossible to keep up.
It was. It's just a shame that Lewis Hamilton's not part of that now, and the fact that, yes, we have got a bit of a light grid tonight. So
who else have we lost? Because it's showing there's only 10 racers. And that'd include us two.
No, it doesn't.
What does that mean?
It doesn't include you, because you left the game.
That's why, then. That's okay. I wanted to be sure we've not lost anybody else, and neither of us have picked it up.
LGS.
So in the meantime, we've got a bit...
LGS P4 and P3, this is getting rather close between him and Jambo.
Let's take a close look at that, because at the moment, XciteRobo and also Mr. Steve have got a little bit of a gap between them, and you're quite correct. LGS is right near the back of Jambo, heading into the Dunlop corner. He was caught out of it by Jambo's braking there, and that pushed him wide in that very heavily cambered corner. LGS has yet to go into the box, as you can tell by the lines of his tyres. Ideally, you want to make them go to about that 20 really, possibly even 22. Because you want to try and make this a two-stop if you possibly can. LGS, think about the inside. Cheeky move here, but he's got great traction on the outside, and it's now going to the DRS to possibly pull away from Jambo. Masterful driving there from LGS. He's got to make this work, and he's really got to try and get at least 7/10, if not a second clear. But look at this, Jambo with all DRS is catching him. That car must be very good in a straight line.
LGS has got half of his cars to defend, but Jambo pits anyway.
And Jambo goes into the box, decides it's better to yield the place and maybe try for the undercut. Quite intelligent, really, because LGS will have been caught on the back foot there, having to fight and take a bit of extras out of the tyres. But 14 laps on the primes, that's really not very good at all.
Pete,
I'd expect at least 18.
Can you restart your stream? Because obviously, I don't know if you've done it or not, but obviously you restarted your router, so I don't know if you've restarted the stream.
That's a good point. I'm not sure if it is actually broadcasted there, so I will put that up now.
Yeah.
That might be a reason why people are giving me no comments.
That's why I've got people say, yeah, Channel 2 is offline. Bernie, get Swiss to restart his stream.
That's okay, I'll do that now. We did have this issue where it said it was streaming and then wasn't. Please don't tell me that's happening now. We really don't need any more bugs. It's getting very, very annoying. In the meantime, Jambo is getting close to the back of, I believe, is that XRL Lightning in the Mercedes there? It's quite behind. It is indeed. It's quite behind the Mercedes of XRL Lightning. So that gives him a great chance now to be able to possibly leapfrog that guy. He is on the newer tyres, so he may need a few laps to catch up. Ahead of them, though, Steve-O in the Williams is really starting to get back onto the back of Robbo. Now, on my computer, it is saying we are streaming live, so guys, please check it out. Tell me if you can see anything, and crucially, if you can hear anything as well. Mr. Steve-O getting a great chance here to get close to the back of XciteRobo. Behind them, though, Jambo's really muscling up behind XRL Lightning in the Mercedes. DRS Flamola, Jambo's force in the air, giving him a great chance to push up and get close into the chicane. He's just a couple of car lengths too far back, though, to be able to affect the pass here. But he is going to have a great chance now on the opening straight down towards that very tight and very high hilly cambered hairpin corner.
Well, you don't want to get too close to that last corner. I just switched over to Jambo and he got really close to the wall on the pit wall. But he's going to have a look at here on the DRS.
He is indeed, and he's gone right on the inside as he got the car stopped inside. Going to be close. Oh, he's gone too wide. He's gone straight on and over the gravel. No. He wasn't even close to making the corner.
It was nowhere near. But the thing is, I think there's an area on that downhill bit where you need to brake. If you don't get it right, you can easily lock up and go wide. I've done it in practice so many times. If you just catch it a bit late, you just go off.
Well, in the meantime, moving further up the field, Steve-O 94 is now right up close to the back of IXI Robbo, who's really been fighting, punching above his weight. He's been gone for a few weeks, Robbo, so it's good to see him back on form, really. We've not seen him for quite some time. Of course, he did win in China, so he has got winning form in this division. Don't be surprised if he could get himself up the field later. But Steele's got a fantastic run there off the Dunlop hairpin, going through the Schumacher S's. Chance on the outside here if he can really get the brakes working. Robbo goes defensive, clutched the inside a bit too much there. That nearly threw him off the corner, but he's just about held it. But Steele's got a much better line there. DRS flap out open, he's right under the diffuser, curves deployed. Steve-O's not taking any prisoners here, but Robbo's doing very, very well to defend. Into the chicane there, side by side. He's going to have to yield there. Steve-O's just not enough room.
Yeah, as I said, it's really good to see Robbo back. He will be back as a temporary driver until we find someone for him. It may be until the end of the season, which is good to see. He just didn't like the constant 100% thing with F1.
Steve-O 94 is getting close to the back of Robbo here, but Robbo's just held the inside line. Part of that car just off the centre, which meant the racing line wasn't quite available, and it was inviting Steve-O too close to the marbles, so Steve-O wisely backed out of that. But intelligent driving from Robbo, particularly with him taking a bit of a hiatus. It's nice to see he's not lost his edge, but he's gone outside the track limits there. He has to be careful he doesn't keep doing that, because you can gain an advantage, especially where you've got the extra tarmac there. So he's going to have to be very careful that he's not seen doing that too often.
Rookie move from Jambo, says Nutters.
Well, Nutters, it's hard to argue with that one. He did get he was very, very ambitious. And we've seen it so many times with drivers in this division. You get the red mist down, you're so close, you're frustrated at being under the wing, and you just go for it, and you've no idea if you're going to make the corner. So many greats have done it as well. Schumacher's done it before now. We saw David Coulthard do it. We've seen many drivers get it wrong and pay the penalty. It's the DRS on for Steve-O. DRS flat wide open, heading towards the King. He's got the extra speed overrun here. Curves deployed, but Robbo's got a great gearbox on that Ferrari. Moving further up the field, though, we do have a further scrap going on. I believe that's between third and second. Going further up there, in third place, we've got Mr. Ice Cold Andy chasing after XRL F1. Ice Cold Andy digging around the outside of the first hairpin. He's just gone outside the track limits. They touch wheels. Ice Cold Andy once again touching wheels there. And LGS has to yield the place as a result. But Andy's got to be careful. We saw F19's get a penalty for forcing the guy off the track last week. It's very, very easy to do that in combat. And once again, we've seen Ice Cold Andy going wide now at that turn 4, where you can get the extra AstroTurf runoff. You've got to be careful there. If you are seen as gaining an advantage, you will get a penalty. And that's definitely something that will apply very heavily this season.
Well, what do you think of that? I was watching the Steve-O battle and then tried to get there in time, but by the time I did, LGS had already lost the place. Was there a lawful overtake in your opinion?
It looks a bit close to me, but as I say, we've got the footage, we will review it.
Okay.
I don't want to make a decision on the cuff because it's not fair on the drivers and it's not fair on the stewards.
No.
Well, because of that now, there's been a bit of a gap there as Ice Cold Andy starts to close down F1 Nige. So going back to the Steve-O Robbo battle, Steve-O's really close here. He must be getting so angry at being stuck at the back of his car.
He's gonna have a
Much like when David Coulthard was stuck behind the Enrique Bernaldi at Monaco. He's got all the pace in the world but just cannot get past. Robbo's doing very, very well to defend. He got a bit ragged there, though. Went very, very wide, very close to going off on the AstroTurf, but just about held it. Well, Steve-O's now got a great chance. He's right under the wing. DRS flap over, he's going around the outside, going a long way. They touch wheels into the chicane there. Robo gets forced a little wide.
Go on, Steve.
Steve sees a chance and opportunity here. Can he get him into the hairpin? He's going to stick the car on the inside. It's going to be close, guys. Touch wheels. Robo's not giving up on the outside. Jambo's not getting on the action. And Steve-O's got the DRS flap over. Jambo has got that advantage on Robo, and Robo, despite not having DRS, has got a great toe. XRL just coming out of the pinch there, I think. But Steve-O's just got the move done. However, Robo's thinking about the outside of the hairpin. He's going side by side to turn 2. He's not yielding his position. He's not giving up. Into turn 3, still side by side. This is like Hamilton and Hulkenberg from this year's race. But once again, contact on the outside. Steve-O keeps the place. And now Jambo is all over the back of Robo in P4. Robo getting a little ragged there in turn 3. LGS has been dragged along for the ride with these guys. We got a free car scrap. Robo makes the mistake. Jambo goes round to P4. And now XRL LGS is on the outside of the Dunlop hairpin. There's no grip there. You'll have to yield that. But LGS is not taking any prisoners here. Thinking about undercutting. Can he go wide for the Schumacher S? Is there something brave? Oh, he does! Held that together. Where did he find the grit to make that work? That's a sensational overtake. That's a fantastic piece of driving from LGS. You can say he had the fresh rubber, but to find the confidence on your first lap to wall of death around the Schumacher S's, it's something else. And Jambo fancies a move on the inside of Steve-O now. Jambo's not giving up either, but he's had to yield to the chicane. LGS is now all over the back of him. Ryan's Penny Gaming simply saying OMG on the comments on my stream. There's not much else you can say. That was simply superb. DRS flap over LGS, DRS flap over Jambo. Steve-O under massive pressure in P3, punching way above his weight here. Going into the hairpin, Steve-O goes a little wide. Jambo far out going into his side there, but just did not have the grip. Meanwhile, Rice Paddy Gaming says the sound is good. There is a god. Something is going right for once. Jambo all over the back of Steve-O going through turn 3 and into turn 4. Both drivers pushing it as hard as they can. Well, Steve-O's not yielding, not giving up. This is some sensational defensive driving from the Williams driver.
This is top racing, but I have to say the top 2 are starting to get quite close. Andy and Nige yet again.
And the Knights have always been good at pushing each other along, really working hard here. And LGS is getting very close now to the back of Jambo, who gets a bit of fishtailing out of the Dunlop hairpin. He now fancies to go to the inside of the Schumacher S. Is anything you can do, I can do better, it would seem. But no, Jambo's not got the traction there. Steve-O just holding the line, going into the next turn. Double is called, don't care. Jambo going wide on the outside. LGS answers the chance on the outside to DRS, so no grip there, surely. He has to yield, but he's saved all his curves. DRS back over. Jambo's on the same advantage, so the speed boost is negated. Can Steve-O hold them both into the chicane? Yes, he can. He's plunged that car right in the middle. Jambo clattering the curves. LGS do the same on the inside. Both guys pushing as aggressive as they dare, trying to get past this Williams driver. Then Jambo may have forced the error. LGS looking from behind there, trying to follow his lead. Jambo gets ahead in the meantime. Steve-O now tries to get a quick switch back toe. LGS on the outside of Steve-O. Gets on the anchors, having got the car stopped. Oh, he has. Jambo goes wide. Steve-O thought he could reclaim the place, but he's just too far behind.
That is an overtake of the week for me, actually, by LGS there around the outside of turn 1. Robbo is now joining the battle with Steve-O.
I'm sorry, but LGS is overtake on the Schumacher S's easily, edges that one.
Yep.
But we're going to have to cut away, because there is a battle for the lead. Ice Cold Andy is right under the diffuser.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
Ice Cold Andy's hit the wall! Lost his front wing! Talk about commentators' curse! Goes straight to the jewel, and he makes the biggest of mistakes. F1 scampers away, and Ice Cold Andy's going to be slamming the steering wheel in frustration. He obviously can't believe that mistake. LGS is now all over the back of his teammate Jambo. Is Ice Cold Andy far enough ahead to be able to come out ahead of these guys? I don't think he is.
Oh, no, I don't quite think so. He's going to be behind a lot of people. And that is just unbelievable.
Apparently they can't hear you.
They can't hear me? You need,
you need to play
through both. Have you played through both? on the Xbox?
I'm pretty sure I have, but I'll just check that.
Have a quick check, because it might be that. I'll keep eyes on this. Jambo's in P3. He's about to overtake his teammate.
Yeah, I've got to play through both. Rice Paddy Gaming, I know you're watching. Tell me if you can hear Dan now. Go.
Hi! Okay, right, we're back. And LGS
thinking you could
round
have commentated
the
on the pass from LGS on the outside,
I could
never mind, hi, will do.
LGS makes a top move around the outside of turn 1, and he's making those fresh tyres count over these last few laps, making some absolute cracking
now
moves.
they can. I think I had one of my settings wrong on the XSplit there, so I've now got that sorted.
Good stuff.
So here we go. Ice Cold Andy down in P6, behind IXI Robo, and just ahead of Team Matable. So Ice Cold Andy's been now heavily compromised because his strategy, and he almost goes wide off the track there. Team Matable's right behind him in TP7. If Matable gets past him on the opposite tyres, he could totally ruin the race. Ice Cold Andy passing him over the inside of the Dunlop hairpin. He goes wide as a result, but he's going to have better traction off the corner and makes that stick. Sensational driving to get past IXI Robo.
I'm just writing things down every lap for overtakes of the week at the moment. That's a fantastic move again. But
who says you can't overtake in Formula 1? Team Matable now getting closer to the back of IXI Robo. DRS flat wide open, but Robo's got the same advantage on the Ice Cold Andy ahead of him. So there's going to be no advantage. But moving further on, there's an even closer scrap going on. I can't keep up with this. It's crazy.
Team Matable
now.
Team Matable pits.
Jambo is... Yeah, Team Matable pits, and so does Stevo. And actually, that's freed up the position. I think also we've seen... Jumbo now moved up to P3 as a result of all of that. LGS, I think, has just got past Jumbo, and that's what we've missed on the final hairpin, because he's now in by a couple of tenths ahead, and he was not before. So we've got a bit of a field spread now. Breathe a sigh of relief, and it's a question of how well that's going to stay in place.
See, there's only 9 cars on the track, but you don't have to have a whole full grid to have fantastic racing like we're having against.
All you need are guys who are closely skilled, closely fielded, and willing to scrap hard. That's all you need.
Ooh, Lightning makes a mistake at the end of the first sector.
For those of you who want proof of that, here's a shameless plug for you. Go to my YouTube channel, you can get a duel between me and an enormous driver from Forza having an 8-minute race around the Nürburgring, the Nordschleife. That's one of the closest things I've ever seen.
And I expect that track is such a narrow one as well, that any sort of
Tell me about
move, it's just edge of your seat racing, isn't it?
It is indeed. So check that out when the stream's over if you can. YouTube.com/user/Wishbone. That's my YouTube channel. I've got a few videos on there, including a few vlogs about my thoughts on the F1 rules for the next season. Well, we got a little bit of a lull, go over the fact that the driver numbers have been announced now. Some interesting ones. First of all, best one being Valtteri Bottas, who chose number 77. BO77AS. I absolutely love it. And meanwhile, Adrian Sutil's gone for a Jason Plato 99, but Matable got a great run off the corner for DRS there to blast past Smitty, who made a mistake. DRS flap over it, and Matable takes that place with absolute ease. Smitty lad, though, is not giving up. He's still on the prime tyres. He's still got lines on them, and he might be able to go long and make a good strategy out of this. Team Matable now being held up a little bit, because one of the Williams is ahead of him, I believe. I think that might be Steve-O. It is indeed. Steve-O's just ahead of him.
And he's got past his teammate now for P3, so Andy's pretty much going to regain where he was. He's just got to overtake, I think that's LGS for P2, but...
Dan, we've had a comment on my stream from Motorboat Sport Nerd saying that apparently Jambo is watching Channel 1.
Is he now?
I have no idea how they got that information.
I know he was watching the pre-show, but I don't know if he's watching the race. I'll ask him afterwards. It doesn't seem to be affecting his connection too much, if he is, at the moment.
Closest duel battle at the moment is Team Matable in 8th place, and Mr. Steve on 94 in 7th. Both guys just going through the Dunlop hairpin here, and Matable has got a better line through there. He went nice and tight. I'm going a better run. I say it's much kind of like the carousel on the real Nordschleife, just not as steep. You obviously told where the inspiration came from for that corner. And in the meantime, going around the outside there. Oh, Vettel will just touch the inside tyre of Mr. Steve on. A bit of a mistake there from XRL Lightning, I believe. Bit of dust on the track. He's suddenly much closer to these guys. Massible DRS flat wide open, going through the kink. Goes wide to the outside. Can he find traction into the chicane here? This is going to be tight. Side by side, and Massible just had to yield as Steve-O runs him out of the road nice and fairly. And I think that's XRL Lightning diving into the pits there. So he's having a disastrous race now. But Massible's got a great chance for a tow. We've also got someone else in the pits. Don't know who that is. Massible now, DRS are open. Steve-O goes defensive to the inside. Massible goes on the outside. Can he cut back on the inside?
Not quite.
No. Massible trying for Steve-O there, who just let the car drift naturally to block that wide off. Great defensive driving.
We've got some comments on the stream here. We've got Nutters91. It's the first time he threw both hands into the air when Andy crashed. Commiserations to Andy, but he was obviously rooting for Nige.
It was a bit of a disappointing way to go out, but it's so easy to do.
It's his race to lose now, isn't it,
though? Too much power down. Sorry?
It's his race to lose now, Nige.
Well, talk about commentators' curse. I said yes, they've got a duel. Join it, and the next thing one of them's crashed, so who knows what's going to happen. So in the meantime, we've got a bit of a duel behind Mattable and Steve-O. We've got Smitty Lad, who's under massive pressure in 7th place. From IXI Robo, these two have been battling hammer and tongs all race. And they're not going to stop now, it would seem. Going through the Schumacher S's, IXI Robo's got much better traction and grip there. Miles better on the high-speed cars. Going around the outside. Has he made it stick? Yes, he has. Excellent overtake. And Smitty was the one who actually almost went off the track. Smitty will be furious. But what an overtake that was from Robbo. Echoing the move of XRL LGS going through the Schumacher S's. Finding grip through the high-speed corners wherever I expect you to get nothing but terminal understeer. Proof that you can defy convention here in the Formula 1 League of XciteRacingLeague. Brought to you tonight by GT, Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Going into the first hairpin, Team Mattable now trying to get close to the back of Steve-O. Steve-O's doing really well, he's really impressing me. For a guy who's always filling in at the last minute, he's just able to drive defensively, proving you don't need to have the ultimate pace, you just need to have good racing strategy. I agree with you right there. Well, viewers, in the meantime, sticking with me live on both XRL Channel 1 and Channel 2 on Twitch.tv. Shout out to all you people who are watching, whether you're watching through the internet, whether you're watching through the Twitch app on the Xbox. However you're watching this, hi to all of you all around the world. On both screens, get your comments in on Channel 1 and Channel 2, and we'll try and get through them. We'll give you our thoughts on the race that was unfolding here, and also on the real-life sport as well. Now, Team Mattable's gained a little bit of time here on the back of Steve-O, but Steve-O's just able to find the extra traction coming out of the corners and catapult slightly further forward. It's kind of like watching a bit of fire and ice effect. It's burning off and then condensing straight back. Well, into the chicane, Team Mattable gets aggressive there. Thought he might be able to muscle his way through, touches the outside tyre. But at the same time, both guys held it well, and no advantage was gained by either side. Into the hairpin, Mattable keeping it nice and tight there, wonderfully close. Matt Neal touring car line there, but behind them we've got yet another scrap going on. As IXI Robo is now all over the backup because, oh, Spinnywan, XRL Lightning has gone round him after the chicane. Spinnywan's got a great chance now to catch him with the DRS here, and he's got the flap over more, so XRL Lightning may have the same advantage. Courtesy of IXI Robo, going into the hairpin, Spinnywan side by side, getting on the brakes there, XRL Lightning goes wide, and Spinnywan gets a little bit of extra traction, but XRL Lightning's just able to hold the place off. Moving further forward through the field, trying to find the close duel here. IXI Robo still holding up P7, and we're back on board with Mattable in TP6. Following behind Mr. Steve-O 94, but Mattable goes wide, makes a mistake, and a Dunlop hairpin. That gives Steve-O the chance to scamper away a little bit here, and we'll give him the chance to really break the toe and move things forward. Going through the Schumacher S's, heading towards the DRS zone. Team Mattable's got all the grip in the world, but he's just not able to get the power when he needs it. He's deployed his curves a little too early, possibly trying to take advantage on the opening straight here, and that compromises him through the second DRS zone, down through the kink. towards the chicane. You can overtake here if you're very, very good on the brakes. But Team Battle was just too far behind Steve-O to effect the pass. Masterbull staring at the back of that Williams, looking at the wing, seeing how it's advertising Venezuela and going, enough, I just want to get past you, I want the points. But at the same time, Mr. Steve-O's holding his line and going, catching is one thing, passing is definitely another story. Heading out towards the chicane and the hairpin. DRS flat wide open on Masterbull's car, but once again, he's just not able to close the gap. It would seem that Masterbull's maybe gone for the extra downforce, lower revs for a Red Bull, whereas the head of his Steve-O's gone for the slightly lower downforce, but extra toe that we saw the likes of Sauber use to great effect in the 2013 ball end of the season. Nico Hulkenberg especially proving that. Masterbull getting on the curve slightly earlier than usual, trying to unsettle the back of Steve-O, maybe force the mistake, but Steve-O's doing beautifully well here to hold on, resisting all this pressure. Much like when Vitaly Petrov held up Fernando Alonso for the whole of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in 2010. But Team Masterbull much closer to Dunlop hairpin, into the Schumacher Asses, and he's right in the inside curve and the outside curve very well. He's got a fantastic bit of grip and traction there. Going around the outside here, this will be brave stuff. Just sees that no contact, so he backs out on the move. But if he can stay this close on the DRS, he'll have a fantastic chance. Using as much of the track as he dares, all the curves. DRS flat now wide open, he goes to the inside of the kink. Mr. Steve-O makes a very late move, Masterbull switches back. Can he get this done into the inside of the chicane? And he wonderfully sighs his way through. That's how you do it. Sold him a dummy and was able to make the move stick. But his problem is that Steve-O's just gone over the DRS detection line, and now he's going to have a chance to take that straight back. There goes the flop. Masterbull defends with curves. Steve-O attacks with curves. Both guys heading down towards the hairpin. Steve-O goes wide to the outside. Oh, can he find the traction on the outside there? Oh, that's a sensational piece of driving for Steve-O. Much like when Nico Hulkenberg forced his way past Lewis Hamilton at the Korea Grand Prix in 2013. But Team Masterbull trying to fight back through the complex, just not able to find the grip. And now he's had a massive problem. He's lost all gears in the car. Has he had a disconnection problem with his controller? He's fallen off the back of Steve-O, and all of a sudden, XRL Robo's all over the back of him.
Well, I joined back at a good time.
Yes, because I'm going to the fridge for a drink.
Good stuff. Right, so I am back now. And Pete will be back in a couple of minutes. Right, so I didn't really know what happened there with Team Masterbull, assuming he probably went into neutral and has lost a good 4 or 5 seconds there to Steve-O, who they were both having a really good battle. I just got back about a minute ago. Robbo all over now, or not all over the bad, but he's definitely closing the gap. I'll have a word with Team Masterbull after today's race, because I was expecting him to be a lot higher than where he was. And he's not even really fighting for double-figure points today.
My XI Robo just not close enough there. Sorry, go on, Dan.
No, I was just having a look at some of the chat. No, I have to get closer to my microphone apparently, but I don't know.
Okay, well, I've had people say you sound fine on my stream.
Good stuff.
That'd be a bit strange if you weren't sound on your own, but we're on mine.
That would be
In the meantime, we've got an incident up ahead. We've got two guys very close together all of a sudden. Now that Masterbull's fallen away from him, Steve-O has come out behind one of the Force Indias. That's ex-Jambo. And Jambo, though, is on the option tyre. So I would expect Jambo to pull away here. But the question is the longer strategy from Mr. Steve-O going to bring him back into effect as those tyres fall off? We're already at the halfway stage, viewers. This has been a thrilling race to watch so far.
The amount of potential overtakes of the week I've got lap 1, 14, 19, 21, 22, 25, 29. Loads.
That's what we want. And all you guys watching in the lower divisions, this is the standard that you've got to follow. Have you got it in you? Judging by last week's GP2 race, I'd say yes.
I got an overtake of the week in there. I don't like to put myself in. Unless it's me being overtaken.
For political bias, boom.
But I have to say I did make a couple of good ones, and GP2 should be fantastic. We've got a couple of new Apex Racing League drivers coming in this week.
That's nice, and of course last week we saw that magnificent debut of our first ever female driver who came on the podium, Nikita. So anything is possible.
She'll be right up there again this week. I can tell you for now, I won't be, because I'm a good 2 seconds off the pace per lap. Rusty, could he be up there? I have a feeling he could be. He appears offline. He stalks in the shadows. You don't see him practicing with anyone much, but you know he's going to be there, and I think he might do a little bit better than what he does most weeks this week. I have a good feeling about it.
On the stream here, Rice Paddy Game is saying that he's not standing a chance. Well, we've seen that before, but look at Olivier Panis. He just said he had no chance at the Monaco Grand Prix in 1996, but he ended up winning it. Anything is possible in Formula 1. Don't ever say you've got no chance. You can have a slim chance, but you've definitely not got none. Well, speaking of real life F1, while we've got a little bit of a potential lull in the action, we did mention about the numbers, things that are being raced before. We are still waiting for the outcome of an actual team meeting, because Luca Di Montezemolo for Ferrari actually called all the team principals to an extraordinary meeting at Fiorano, basically to discuss F1's direction. Evidently, the whole idea of double points and everything has split the paddock right in half. And it'll be interesting to see what the outcome of all that is. Personally, I've said before, I think double points for the final race is stupid. Bernie Ecclestone, meanwhile, I want it for all 3 of the end races. What planet is he on?
It's an absolute farce, isn't it? It's ridiculous. It's a joke.
I mean, it's like, I think it's daft, because, I mean, here's a point for you. If we wind the clock back to 2012, no, 2011, sorry, when the race in Brazil, Vitaly Petrov came 11th, right? Picture this. Imagine if he'd have got 10th, and a team like Williams, who got Maldonado's only point, hadn't got Bottas' score. Off that one race, they'd be behind Caterham. How's that fair? Yeah,
definitely. It's ridiculous.
And that's not the only example. There's so many examples of that throughout the field. And at the end of the day, as much as he splits opinion, that is Sebastian Vettel, whether you love him or you hate him or you're indifferent, he did say it best. He said the championship rewards those who's been consistent over the season. And I agree 100%.
Yeah, I hate him, but he's right on this occasion, isn't he? It's, you know, why does having double points at the last race devalue all the other races and their significance? The winner of the championship is the winner of every race, or the winner of this whole season together.
It's the one with the most points. I mean, looking back at isn't it Niki Lauda who won a title without actually winning a race at one season?
Yeah. What do you think of the numbers idea?
There's an example for you.
What do you think of the car numbers?
I actually don't agree with it. I like the idea of drivers doing stuff, and it's good to see that Valtteri Bottas broke some humour back with his 77 call. And I also like the Hulkenberg. Oh, meanwhile, before I can carry on that point, Massimo's got a run on Steve-O. Steve-O almost hit him into the pit lane there.
That looked like a bit more like connection more than anything else, though.
It did look a bit strange, but luckily Massimo's been able to hold it and not got away with it. So that's pretty clever. And the DRS Fabio over from Team Massimo, thinking about the outside of turn 1. Oh, Steve-O goes a little defensive chop, so gives him room. Massimo's gone wide. He's just kept it inside the island there and found the grip he needs to take the position, but he's throwing dust on the track. He's going to lose traction there. Is Steve-O going to get a better run through turns 3 and 4? Going on the lower right. Oh, Massimo's fishtailing left and right. His tyres appear to have gone. And Steve-O's got a great toe here now, heading down towards turn 5 in the infield section, the cambered corner, where he's got much better grip. Look at the difference in speed there. Steve-O's got so much more confidence. Heading down towards the Dunlop hairpin. Once again, Massimo fishtailing like he's driving the Dodge Viper. He's really not liking those tyres at the moment. Into the Dunlop corner, nice and cambered. Steve-O taking the high line. And at the same time, ahead of him, Massimo takes the low line and just holds position. Well, I've got a little break heading down there. I do agree that I like that the teams have to wear the shameful numbers. When teams like Mercedes and McLaren have a crap season, they should have to wear the low numbers to give them the kick up the backside to do better.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, on the stream, meanwhile, most sport nerds saying if they're going to do double points, they should do it in a Grand Slam system like tennis. I suppose you could take influence on the World Endurance cars for that, because they have triple points for Le Mans. But there's a good reason for it. Le Mans 3 times as long.
Yeah, that's right.
So maybe if the double, I mean, there's an interesting idea. Why not double the length of the race, allow refueling, and give everyone a fresh set of gearboxes and engines for the one race? It's an even playing field.
It's got to be something extra to justify the double points.
I agree completely. But now we've got a potential free car scrap going on here because Mattable's not getting away from Steve-O, and behind him, actually Robbo's now getting close as well. As Steve-O goes a little wide for turn 3. All of a sudden, these three are bunching up. Oh, Robbo once again chopping very close to the grass there. Got to be careful he's not stealing too much of an advantage, or else he will be staring down the barrel of a penalty. I've said it before and I'll say it again, stay inside the track limits.
Robbo looks like more likely to catch to the back of Steve-O than Steve-O does of Team Matable.
I agree completely. Robbo's getting a much better run through the Dunlop hairpin there, and we've seen how mighty Robbo's been through the Schumacher S's so far in this race. If there's anyone who's going to pressure him, I'd say it's him.
Tomorrow night you'll be in the box with LGS again for the GP2 race?
That's right, I will be in the box of LGS for GP2, so if you're watching here, that'll be live on Channel 1. We're still waiting for more confirmation and more streamers, because I only do 2 races a week at the moment, and we are expecting a few more, so there might be some gaps in the coverage. We'll try to fill them where we can, though, because obviously we want to see as much of the divisions getting the airtime they deserve.
Exactly, and you know, F1 Division gives you some great action, but it's not to say that GP2, GP3 and the other 2 divisions don't give you that as well. You know, you see plenty of road
Definitely, I've raced in F5000. I've raced in F5000 and I had some banzai races with Sean Bean 22, who I have to say, I'm very sad has had to depart the league, probably, due to connection trouble. Oh, Robbo, meanwhile, got to be ambitious on the brakes there and hit the back of Steve-O, but he has let him go ahead. He's not taking advantage, but he's got to be very, very careful.
A little bits like that just give Team Matable a bit more of a gap, but what were we talking about, sorry? Before?
We were talking about how the likes of the lower divisions can give you just as much action as
we're talking about
division.
Sean Bean, sadly, having to depart the league because of his connection, essentially. And it is a massive shame because he's my teammate and we really got on, and you know, I think he's a great driver who has just won a race this season despite his connection issues. And it's sad to see.
He's the only driver to win both an F1 and GP2 division in the same week.
Yeah, that's right. He came in as
no
reserve.
one else has ever done that.
That is a good accolade to have. But yes, I have got a new teammate from ARL coming in, so
that'll be interesting to see what your benchmark pace is.
He is probably going
as
to
Robbo gets the. Meanwhile, the DRS flap is wide open. Robbo getting another massive attack here for Steve-O, but he realises he's just too far behind. Backs out of the move intelligently early, saves his tyres, and makes sure he doesn't do too much as Steve-O boxes for the pits. Well, Robbo possibly played a masterstroke there, because he's now going to have the DRS flap just to be able to drive away. And that might give him the edge to jump Steve-O on strategy alone. Very, very good driving.
Right, I've got the lap times up. We've got Nigel with a 31.4, Andy with a 31 dead, 31.7 for Jambu with a 31.8 for LGS. Team Aspel's done a 33.1 with a 33.5 done from Robbo. Lightning's overtaken Steve-O, done a 33.7, a 33.8 from Steve-O, a 34.9 from Smithy, and obviously Lewis Hamilton losing connection rather early on. We did 36.1.
Well, in the meantime, Motorsport Nerds followed up from his point about the Grand Slam of tennis, saying that's what they should do. Maybe have 4 of the tracks like, say, Monaco, Britain, Belgium, Abu Dhabi, and make them as a Grand Slam where they should be double points and double length. It's actually an interesting idea. If you took the classic races like Spa, like Monaco, like Suzuka, like Monza, like all those kind of tracks, pick the best 4, you can even rotate them. If you take the classic tracks like those lot, you got Circuit de Gilles in Canada, you got Interlagos in Brazil, and rotate them year on year. That could make things interesting. Rotate the finale of the season.
That would give F1 a lot more coverage as well. If you did sort of a grand, if sort of maybe 2 or 3 really important, iconic tracks in F1 meant more and were part of like a Grand Slam throughout the season, I think that would give F1 more coverage.
Oh, big mistake. Ice Cold Andy has just been able to lap one of the McLarens there, who was getting told, I think it was Smitty, got totally out of shape, but stayed off the track so that Ice Cold Andy could get past him. Good driving from the lap car, that. Ice Cold Andy's now running in P2, but F1 Nigel's got a big gap now. He's all the way down at the Dunlop hairpin, whilst Ice Cold Andy's only just gone onto the straight before it. So that's a gap of a good 10, maybe 15 seconds there. And F1 Nige in the bound seats to really take the race.
Wonder if Nige would have won that race if Andy didn't have that issue.
Well, we can debate all we like, but the fact is to finish first. First you got to finish.
Exactly.
The great money talker himself said that, and he's absolutely right. Meanwhile, Motorsport Nerd said he's contacting the FIA with that suggestion right now. Good luck with that. You're more like the Queen.
Right, so we've got Lightning and Steve having a battle for P7.
I just called now when you announced it.
It's a bit of a shame that we're having to commentate on battles from the lower positions today, but...
It's not a shame at all, it's nice to give coverage. And Steve-O takes advantage due to Lightning making a mistake there, going a bit wide into the Dunlop, she kept hairpin, look up for XRL Lightning. But Steve-O's got better traction. Is he going to repeat LGS on the outside of Schumacher S's? Here we go. This will be brave stuff. And indeed he's managed to get round. But XRL Lightning's not yielding. Into the corner afterwards and Steve-O just holds the line. Sensational driving. Twice now we've seen that extraordinary pass done. And XRL Lightning's got the DRS though. So Steve-O's not out of the woods yet. This is a scrap.
Right, we'll have a look at the top two for you, actually. I think that people are asking, Rusty's asking for what the gap is between the front two. Nige is going through Schumacher S's. It's not massive, you know. It's about 10 seconds.
That's what I said. That's, in F1 terms, that's massive. XRL Lightning, meanwhile, DRS flat wide open, trying to get up to Mr. Steve-O, trying to close the gap. But again, he's just not close enough to affect the pass there, as both guys avoid the bollard, which has been unceremoniously dumped in the middle of the track. I hate the bollards on this game, they really irritate me.
I'm not looking forward to that one at turn 1 here. I think that could
It's blind, it's tight, it's cambered down. XRL Lightning goes nowhere near the track there, completely goes off. Makes a mistake and that slows him right down. Steve-O gets the pull away. Some encouragement from Motorsport Nerd. Right, Paddy Game is saying no. Well, true. I actually think what would be good for F1 is if they did an actual fan forum where every broadcaster in the world held the competition and the winners got to be taken by the FIA to somewhere like, oh, somebody was retired. Well, we'll need to get him in here and find out what happened there. But in the meantime, carrying on what I was saying, it'd be nice if all the broadcasters in the world held a competition and then somewhere neutral in the middle, like say Germany, like Italy, all the people got all expenses paid, taken for a weekend, met some of the drivers, and a huge forum happened where they got to be able to give feedback on F1 and provide their ideas. Because who knows, we certainly seem to come up with all kinds of creative solutions. Why not engage with the fans? Why not get them part of the decision making?
That would be silly. According to Mr. Byrne.
I mean, you get some silly ideas, like you get people talking about like putting like tractor beams on the cars so they can pull each other closer and everything else. But then you'll get clever ideas, like the whole four-way Grand Slam idea that Motorsport Nerd came up with, like the idea of the tyres having 3 compounds instead of 2 in the race to further strategise that. All those kind of things you could do. The way the budget cap should work. There's so many things that could be done to make it more engaging. Why not? I think it's a great idea.
I can't see why not. It's just, it won't happen.
Oh, Ice Cold Andy's clattered the inside wall at the final corner and lost an end play. He's been lucky not to lose his wing there, but that's not going to help him trying to close that gap on F1 Nige. As the field is now very spread out. So if you've got any comments about this race or about the actual season of F1 itself, get on the streams, either Channel 1 or Channel 2, and we'll do our best to give you our responses. Well, I do have to say, despite the field opening up, this has been a brilliant race to watch. Lots has happened. And this is what F1 has been missing. Get more of this for real, is what I say.
I know it's actually really good. I know it's a video game, and you know, real life F1, it'd be, you know, the skill of all the drivers is so close, and you wouldn't get, you know, some of the moves that people pull. But you know, it's all, every week we come into this F1 division, however many people race, and we get good racing against one another.
Definitely. I mean, the F1 guys, they are seen as the best in the league. On pace, they are. But in general, a lot of the racing between them is very, very good as well. There's the odd incident, but you get that on track anywhere in the world. It's the fact that they're able to put so much respect here and be able to push all the way down, which is really fantastic to watch. and you get to see some phenomenal car control, like LGS and Mr. Stevo, with their sensational passes around the Schumacher S's, for example. That takes some real guts to do that.
Yeah, the only thing I can really think of is Mark Webber and Alonso at Eau Rouge. That's the sort of driving in real life comparison, isn't it?
I agree completely. Meanwhile, Motorsport Nerd, he's saying he's hopefully off to the 6 hours of Silverstone. I hope you do get there, mate, 'cause I love Le Mans. Master Ice Cold Andy is now in the pits. He's put the prime tyres on again. So his teammate's going to come out in front of him. But it's a question of how far in front. I'll stay on board with Ice Cold Andy. We might still. He's got the option title, sorry, not the primes. But going back to what I was saying, I hope you do get to go there, Mr. Motorsport Nerd, because it's a fantastic atmosphere from what I've seen. Oh, mistake from Ice Cold Andy. No, we're totally off the track there, but just got away with that. I, of course, am going to the 24-hour Le Mans itself. Me and my housemate will be headed to France to watch that race live. So looking forward to that.
That does sound really good.
Are any of you going to races next year? Are you going to F1? Are you going to Le Mans? Are you going to touring cars? Talk about it. What plans have you got? Is there anywhere you're hoping to go to? Give us your points on the streams and we'll see what we make of it all.
I'm a boring person. I'm probably not going anywhere. 2 years in a row I've been like, oh, I'm going to go to Silverstone, oh, I'm going to go Monza, but I haven't done it. I really do want to go somewhere, but I don't know where yet.
If you want to go F1, one of the best ones to go to is Spa. Not only because of the crack, but it's cheap.
Yeah, it is. It is quite cheap. In comparison to, say, Silverstone.
Abu Dhabi.
Or Abu Dhabi, yeah.
Silverstone, I do think in F1 terms, is the most expensive track in the world. Considering that I'm going to Le Mans for the 24-hour race for less than the price of the admission alone into Silverstone. As XRL Lightning has just been passed by IXI Robbo, who just drove clean past him like he wasn't there. Lightning, I don't think he even defended that position. Jambo's now dived into the pits, releasing his teammate Ice Cold Andy. He's in for his final stint. Is he going to be able to do 18 laps on the options, or is he going to go conservative and go for the primes? No, he's gone for the primes. So Ice Cold Andy's definitely going to have to go back into the pits at some point. Motorsport, meanwhile, is saying that perhaps we should organise an XRL trip somewhere. It's an idea, but the problem is a lot of us are all over the country, everywhere from Scotland to the southern part of England, and then we've got our international drivers as well, such as Nikita. Anything's possible.
Well,
Jonathan Saunders, meanwhile, is on my stream. Hello to you. Not seen you watching before, so thank you very much for commenting. He's saying he's off to America. Hey, do you mean you're going to the Circuit of Americas or just a trip in America? If you're going to the Circuit of Americas, then good on you, because that is one of the greatest new tracks I've ever seen.
If anyone's going to Malaysia in March time, there's a race on there and it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, what F1 race?
Yeah,
I'll just like racing in general.
F1 race. The tickets are 11 quid.
Yeah, it's the cheapest on the calendar by miles, Malaysia. I find that strange, though, when you think about it, because that's the home of Petronas, one of the heaviest sponsoring people in motorsport. It just seems a bit of a paradox, really.
Yeah.
Perhaps that Petronas are able to push up the value. Who cares? Because it's great. And Jonathan Saunders is saying he's actually going to the Circuit in the Americas. Absolutely awesome. I watched the coverage this year, and the way they built that race up was fantastic. I just hope next year that they put on a better show, because the first race at the Circuit of the Americas in F1 was one of the greatest races I've ever seen.
Yeah, this year's one wasn't as exciting, was it? I think it was just because Red Bull was
everyone was driving to
dominance.
Delta times. Ooh, the tyres won't last. You need to go 3 seconds slower. Get lost.
Do they do many support races on that track?
I think they had. I think they had like a road course of American racing. Obviously, GP2 had ended and GP3. So at that point, they usually. I think they had the Porsche Super Cup because they always do. They always tour, and they probably had one of the local racing seasons as well. The strangest one for support races is actually none other than the South Korean Grand Prix, which is off the calendar this year. They have a very odd sort of touring car race as a support, and nothing else.
Really?
Because no one else goes to Korea. Yeah, David Coulthard used to always comment on it. He said it was one of the weirdest, one of the strangest category of races he's ever seen. I wish there was some footage of it, because I've no idea what it was. It intrigued me quite a lot. So in the meantime, we don't really have much close action at the moment. The field is now spread out. But IXI Robo is closing up slightly in 7th place on, I think that might be Team Macklemore and Sauber ahead. Let's quickly ride on board there. Yeah, he's just going into the Dunlop hairpin now. And behind him on the option tyres, Robo's close behind. Robo may well be on the options, but if he's on the same kind of pit window as Team Macklemore, he might do enough to be able to overhaul him. Going to be interesting to see what happens there. And meanwhile, Jonathan Saunders also said on the stream he's going to be visiting Spa, but not during the F1 calendar. What is it you're off for there, mate? Are you off to watch the World Endurance cars, or are you just going for an actual trip at a track day? Whatever it is, I'm massively jealous, because that's my favourite circuit in the world.
He likes the trees in the forest, I think.
Apparently, the camping there is absolutely fantastic. And it's, according to the people who have gone, if you go to the Spa F1 race, it's actually the closest thing to a British race outside Silverstone. Because a lot of British people go there due to the cost.
Yeah, a lot of British fans go there. The cost is good, and it's very, very close. You can just easily get in the car, cross the channel. It's a bit of a trek, or you can get a ferry over.
I think you can literally get the Eurostar as well out to Brussels.
Oh yeah,
and then
you
make
could do
it from
that.
there.
Yeah, you could do that. It's not. Yeah, it's not that far
Most nerd is asking if the support race for South Korea was the fire trucks. To be fair, his performance in the Formula 1 race last season, it might well have been, for all I know. And Jonathan Saunders says he's going to Spa just for a tour. Well, absolutely awesome, mate. Hope you have a great time. Take lots of pictures and share them on the forum. XciteRacingLeague.com. We'll all take a gander at those. Right outside Robo makes a bit of a mistake in the infield section there. Almost spins the car, but catches down. He's lost connection.
Oh, no way.
We've lost Robo. Unbelievably, we've lost him. That's an absolute shame. He was driving so well on his return, and he's now out. Let's see if we can get hold of him, find out what's happening from his side of things. Absolutely extraordinary. It had to happen at some point, but why now? We're in the last 25% of the race. Leave these guys alone. They've been working so hard to get these points. So, Mr. Steve-O now trying to catch... Robbo, I mean, you seem to be having a really strong race, but then lost connection. Was you having problems with connection from the race, or was it just a sudden drop-off?
I just wanted to... I got bored.
Oh, but you seem to be catching Team Maximal. I thought you'd have been in a position to just be able to take the points.
He was on primes, I was on options, and he was putting away half a second still. I couldn't be asked. I told Bernie I can be asked to do 100% and I can't.
Well, I understand that. I mean, you did very, very well on your return race there. Your pace seemed pretty strong, just as you're taking such a hiatus. I mean, I do understand it can be quite a long track doing 100%, but I must say, I mean, do you reckon you've got more of a chance of the next week's race? Do you reckon you have more pace there?
Probably not, to be fair. I've always said I ain't got enough pace to be in this league anyway. That's why I wanted to be in a lower league. But, you know, I prefer to be in GP3. Probably, more my pace, rather than these guys that are lapping 2 seconds faster than me a lap. Well, the front guys anyway. So,
yeah, I mean, the guys at the front, to be fair, they often lap a second quicker than the rest of the field. I do understand where you're coming from, though. Obviously, if you feel that you can get more out of the race, then at least that's great on taking part. Hopefully, we'll see you getting better performance and be able to get your pace back. Don't forget, you did get that extraordinary win in China, so anything is possible. But thank you very much for your comments, and we'll hope to see you soon. A bit of a surprise, that really. His performance didn't seem that bad to me. And again, if Mattawar was on the pit window, there's a chance he could have caught him up. But
thing is,
either way, at least he turned up. He was doing well, and he did win in China, so he can't be doing that badly, surely.
Team Adel's a decent driver, and the people who are quicker than him, Andy, Nige, they're quality drivers. It just sort of says to me, all you care about is winning sort of attitude, which, it's nice to win, but even I've learnt now you can't go out and win every race. I've only won 6 out of 96 races, so...
That's a better hit rate than me. On my stream, Jonathan Son is saying, what do people think of Michael Schumacher? Here at XRL, our thoughts are with Schumacher, because whether he was someone who split opinion on the track from whether he was a cheat or not, The fact is, to have that kind of accident is an absolute travesty, and we wish him the speediest of recovery, and we hope that all the media abide by his family's wishes and give him a nice, respectful chance to recover quietly.
You haven't heard much news for a little while. I'm currently on board with Lightning. He has been lapped, but since he's been lapped about 6 or 7 laps ago, he's been all over Nige. He's been...
Yeah, it's a bit strange, that, isn't it? Maybe it's just kind of like Hamilton was on Button at Hockenheim in 2012. Bit the same kind of approach there. But interestingly, going back to Schumacher, the last news I heard was that the doctors did confirm he was in a stable, but again, critical condition. So that could mean literally anything, and they're asking people not to speculate. And I can understand that, because there was, I think it was an Italian journalist actually dressed up as a priest to try and get a scoop into the hospital ward, which I find absolutely despicable.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
That's the kind of thing people do. It's absolutely despicable, that. Meanwhile, F1 Dive just dived into the box, so XRL Lightning's going to unlap himself. Question is he going to do his teammate a favour when it comes back?
And he may well overtake, but obviously we'll have an extra stop to do.
He'll stay there as another batter, yeah. Meantime, on the stream, the Rice Paddy Gaming is saying he's currently dedicating all his races to Schumacher until he wins. Well, fair enough, can understand that. I say it's good to see you're thinking of him. And Ice Cold Andy and F1 Nice, they're going to be very close here. They're coming down to the pit lane. F1 Nice is just ahead. Very, very close there. F1 Nice seemingly took on the prime tyres, I think.
No,
or is that the options?
on the
Can't quite tell from this angle.
Yellow.
Yeah, it's just on the options now.
So it's effectively a pit stop up, because I can't see Andy getting another 12 more laps out of those. And I'd expect him to pit the next couple.
Okay, Saunders, I don't know what your last comment is dedicated at, but due to the content, I'm not reading that aloud.
Oh, Crazy Fish is back. Good to see you watching.
Nice called Andy, picking around the outside of the Dunlop hairpin there, but he's just been able to back out of the movers. F1 Nige had the better line, but heading into the Schumacher S's, and F1 Nige is under massive pressure from Ice Cold Andy. Ice Cold Andy's got another 12 laps to go. Surely he can't make those options last that long. If he can, and stay this close, we could be in for an extraordinary recovery, as F1 Nige gets better drive off the corner, and despite the DRS, I think Ice Cold Andy's lost the so here.
Who's going to be our third place driver today, then, I wonder? Is it going to be Jambo? Or is Jambo, I doubt he's going to have to pit again. He's got about a 12 to 15 second lead over LGS, so yes, it should be Jambo who gets that third and final podium place. He complains every week about that Force India, but Andy does well in it, and he seems to do well in it as well, so...
Speaking of Andy, he's just in the DRS zone for F1 Nige, but he's just not close enough to affect the pass now, and the fresher rubber on Nigel's car means he's very, very likely to get away. Oh, Jonathan, okay. I wasn't sure you were talking about it. He did say that the priest who tried to get into Michael Schumacher's room should be shot. Right, well, you just said he should be shot, so I was thinking, yeah, until I know who that is, I'm not going to be reading that out. So, fair enough, point taken. I do agree, it's a despicable thing to do. It's like, if I have parents and grandparents in hospital to things like terminal conditions and serious accidents, and I'd never want that happening to my worst enemy. Simple as that.
It's just someone trying to get their 10 minutes of fame, isn't it?
Yeah, but even so, you come point. People say, oh, but people should have morality. Well, evidently he doesn't.
No.
You can wear the cloth, but it doesn't mean you're a man of one. So in the meantime now, looking further along here, F1 Nige getting close to leading away from the pack here. Ice Cold Andy keeping him relatively honest, but those older tyres just going to mean he's going to lose the grip here. So I can see F1 Nige taking a victory, and the question is, how close will that make the championship now? Because with the last week's results being as per usual pretty much, this reversal might change things up.
It will. Lewis Hamilton only getting the point will mean he goes to 95 points. So 25 points for, who are we talking about here? F1 Nige.
F1 Nige.
Will take him to 116, and Andy will be on 132, so the gap will be 16 points instead of 20.
That's not a lot after the halfway point of the season. Definitely close. On the street, Saunders saying that money makes the world go round, and that's why you're very true, I suppose. If you're the newspaper that can run the world exclusive story, then that's the way you do it. Meanwhile, according to Motorsport Nerd, the support race for Korea was actually the Korea Super Prix. Never heard of it, don't know what it is. Maybe I'll find out some footage of it. So that's what's supported there. I mean, there'll be some strange support races in the past for F1. I've always wondered what would be the more unusual ones. Maybe in America, I was wondering if they might have run a one-off NASCAR road course there. That would have made things interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do have a bit of a lull in the field, unfortunately. So despite the closeness of the wheel-to-wheel action throughout the rest of the race, it seems that towards the end, it's just going to be a little split apart now, and that means it's going to be a wind down towards the end. And Ice Cold Andy dropping off the pace now. He's in the 131s, and you can see that Nige, he's just pulling away here. F1 Nige has done what matters. When F1 Nige saw that Ice Cold Andy made his mistake, he kept his head, kept the hammer down, and pulled away, and that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly, going on about next season's F1 Championship, we do have, of course, the return of Austria next year at the A1 ring. Be interested to see how the current F1 cars go round there, because even when they were on the Bridgestone Ridge tyres, they were down at like 1:08%, 1 minute and 8 seconds. On slicks, could they possibly shatter the record and be in the 1 minute 5s? If they do, how many laps of the race are they going to be?
They're all talking about cars on there now. Nutters is looking at getting a BMW Z4. Nice.
You flash bastard.
I'm having my Ford Fiesta, thanks.
I don't even have a car at the moment, but I will be getting one later. F1 Nige pushing a little bit to the track there, dips his toe out onto the gravel. He could have so easily spun that and done what Ice Cold Andy did, and he needs to rein his pace in a bit, stop being a bit like Vettel going for the fastest lap, and make sure he crosses the finish line first.
Here we go. Andy's in.
Well, that definitely gives the result to F1 Nige now.
Jambo is just about to start the final sector on the DRS activation. So it's
well,
close.
I don't think he's going to be close enough here, but then again, it's a question of how much wear is taken out. I think Ice Cold Andy is relatively safe, though. Only 9 laps to the checkered flag. I'd highly doubt that the options are go off that quickly. But then again, we've seen it in this season, who knows?
Well, Jambo isn't ahead, but even if he was ahead, I think Andy would have been able to easily overtake him. LGS is not crazy too far behind, you know, from Jambo. It's about, I don't know, about
Here's
6,
an interesting question from Rice Paddy Gaming for you, Dan, because I'm a bit confused about this myself. He's asking here, why different divisions appear to have different rules on third drivers, such as the top 2 divisions award the driver points. And he's confused. Do different divisions have different rules?
They shouldn't do. What does he mean on that? They have different rules and different third driver points.
Well, Motorsport Nerds responded by saying, no, none are awarded and they take away the points as they are added at the end of the season.
They should have a red mark by them to say that they're third driver, and then at the end of the season we'll minus it. They should...
minus it from the constructors,
really,
you mean?
What should happen, is... on the driver's score, it should say 0, but on the constructors, it should have the points that the third driver took. That's what it should...
I'm sorry, but I disagree with that. It should be points count. When Jerome D'Ambrosio drove for Lotus in 2012, he was awarded points when he got his points at Monza.
That's true. Very true, actually. I haven't really thought about that.
Why shouldn't they get points? If they turn up and competed, they turn up competed.
Yeah, that's true.
If someone drives in GP2 for real and subs in F1 due to an injury of some kind, they'd still get the points in F1 if they got in the points.
Yeah, they do. I don't know why I haven't really thought about that more. All I've done is put it to the team, but he should get points, really.
I agree completely, because at the end of the day, if you turn up and you compete, why shouldn't you be in the championship?
Exactly.
Put it this way, but that'd be like Sean Bean not being credited with his win at Bahrain this season. How's that fair?
Exactly. That's something that we'll probably have to do next season, I would think. And for this season, just...
Well, there you go, Mouse Paddy. Anyway, hopefully that clears up the confusion now, because I wasn't aware of that myself. On the stream, what's your opinions? Let's ask for you. You've obviously heard mine, you've heard Dan's. What have you guys got to say about it? What would you be in favour of? At the end of the day, we all have to get our input to see what's going to happen to potentially shape the future of the divisions and the F1 League.
I think, I have to say, I think his last 20 laps of this race have been the quietest we've seen in a very long time for the F1 division.
That's true.
This is down to the
I think
numbers.
it's because we had the loss of connections. We had both Smitty retiring. We had Robbo leaving the race after not wanting to carry on. If those two guys were in and there'd have been potential lap traffic, that could have changed things. So who knows? Maybe that's part of the problem. But either way, you can't take away from how astonishing the opening laps were. The opening laps were truly something else.
We need to know from Danny Pearce and Emu as to why they haven't been here today. They haven't. Danny Pearce did all the practice in the world for Silverstone. I know he did. And he didn't turn up. And he hasn't been here again this week. So I'd love to know why he isn't here. Because he's someone on his day who's got some good pace. Yes, he's not Andy Pace at the top of F1, but he's still, you know, he's got a bit of pace to him.
Well, it's like Emu. We've seen him have great pace versus the likes of F1 Nige in the past. So if there's anyone who else could be a bit of a spanner in the works, especially at the start in the mid-pack, it's a confused Emu, so you definitely want them there. On my stream, we've got Jonathan Saunders saying the third driver should be awarded and praised with victory. Well, what's everybody else got to say? Keep your comments coming in, and we'll do our best to get through them. In the meantime, we do have a bit of a break in the action, unfortunately. It's a bit of a shame, really, that it's ended on a bit of a petered note in the fact that it's gone down a bit. It's a real shame because the guys were close, were racing hard, and doing really, really well. Well, hopefully we will see more of this next week. Next Grand Prix is Hungary, isn't it?
It is indeed. But before that, we'll see all of the action from Germany, and I think GP2 is going to be a cracker tomorrow.
Well, if this race is anything as a barometer for the potential action that can happen, hopefully we'll definitely see that. And of course, we've got the unknown quantities. We've got Nikita in her second race. Can she continue her shocking and unexpected pace at the top of the field? The ARL guys who've joined us after their league went through a bit of a patch. Can those guys spring a few surprises? Who knows what's going to happen? All we know is I'm going to be in the box tomorrow night with XRL LGS. We'll be calling the action. XRL Bernie, a.k.a. Dan, he's going to be out on the track trying to get some points here. And we've got the likes of Rusty Nuts, who was a great race last week at Silverstone. Can he follow that up here at the Nürburgring? Or will we see some of the other guys in the middle of the pack, like Steve-O94, be able to claw their way up towards the top of the victory? We shall see.
Well, it could be called as mind games. It could be just me being an honest person, but Nutters will win tomorrow night.
Well, that's Dan's prediction. He's called it here. Me, I've not got a prediction just yet. I'll wait till qualifying. That's how I always do it.
Nikita's quick. Don't get me wrong, Nikita will be quick.
Nikita's very quick. I was very, very pleased when I saw the pace that she brought to the thing.
I think the inexperience of the higher fuel load on a bit more of a complex track than Silverstone could prove to be her downfall. Bobbitt's could be
possibly,
up there.
But then again, having got used to the fuel last week, it might be something that she's adjusted for. Again, we don't know because we're not seeing the practice, so who knows? And all you guys out there in lower divisions, if you are practicing for the race, do your best to try and get as much pace as you can. The strategies here have shown it's been a bit of an unusual potential window for strategy. Prime tyres definitely seem to be the long one. Meanwhile, Sean Bean has come onto the street on my side. He said it's official. He's now a Forza League racer. So, Sean, thank you very much for your endeavours here in the Formula 1 paddock. We will miss you, and hopefully at some point I'll see you on the Forza track.
Is this the Forza League that you were talking about a little while back?
I don't know. It's just that he's a Forza League racer. I don't know if it's anywhere with an XRL. I don't know if it's with another league. Sean, you're the guy with the answer to that question. Why don't you tell us where you're going to be racing?
And I expect many tickets to race at your birthday go-karting race.
That's a great idea.
We should all go. Just all of the league turn up on his birthday. Give him a $5 as a birthday present and just go go-karting.
Sounds like fun, but it's a matter of where it is. Give details on the forum, Sean. Let's take a look and see how feasible that is. And meanwhile, Sean is saying yes, it is the league that he was talking about to you. So
very
disappointed
in you, Sean. No, it's not XRL. It's a different league. But good luck to him. But I'm not happy with you. He knows I'm happy with him.
No, of course. Well, in the meantime now, as I say, the action on track has unfortunately died down. It's a bit of a shame, really. We're into the final 4 laps here at the Nürburgring, and then after that we will be gearing up tomorrow for GP2. GP3 may get locally recorded, it may get streamed. It depends on exactly how we are for coverage. Then F4 and F5000 is traditionally a double header, but again, that may well be locally recorded or may well get streamed live. Jonathan Saunders, meanwhile, talking about that, saying wait for F5000. I raced there a couple of years ago. There's sometimes a lot of talent in those lower divisions. So we'll see what's going on.
I'm W2 Elite. It's his game tag.
I know. Well, in the meantime, the league apparently is called UNRL, and apparently it's at Brentwood Karting. Yes. Wherever Brentwood is, I don't have a clue.
That is in Essex.
That's a long way for someone like me who's a grim northern git. But it's still possible, so who knows?
I think, you know, it'll be a good experience. Everyone go-karting. Not necessarily at Brentwood, but somewhere in the country.
I'd be absolutely rubbish at karting, I really
I've never been, but I just have a feeling I'd be quite good. I don't know why.
Everyone has that feeling, then they get behind the wheel and realise that they're not quite as good as they thought they were.
Yeah, exactly. I can see that happening. But when
I'm sorry.
Has
anyone else actually done any go-karting or track racing? If you have, give us your comments, give us your experiences. I've never actually been out on track, but it's something I've always wanted to do. One of my friends used to be a rally driver, and if he hadn't broke his legs, I would have actually gone and done a co-driving event with him one time. That's something I've always wanted to do.
Riotous Tag asks, Dan, double points may throw a spanner in the works for the league races. We are not doing that.
There you go. We're not copying Formula 1 in that. We think it's lame.
Yes. XRL Star asks, where are you from? He's a northerner himself.
Yeah, I'm from near Manchester. Not in Manchester itself.
On the outskirts. Very
close to it. Pretty much, yeah.
Dan, stop inviting people to my party for me. What? Oh, sorry! Everyone's invited to Sean's birthday party, by the way.
Well, there you go. It's an invitation that's gone out from Sean on the stream. So, more details to come, I guess.
And is there any other questions? Don't think so.
No, I've gone quiet at the moment. Oh, well, never mind. But in the meantime, now, riding on board with Jambo, just watching his lap times, he's been a bit off the pace. The fastest lap of 1:31.1, whereas ahead of him, Ice Cold Andy, a full 3 seconds quicker, a 1:28.1 on those fresh options at the end of the race.
Makes a difference.
And meanwhile, F1 Dive, 1:29.8 is his fastest lap. The back of the field, 1:38 for XRL Lightning and P7, last lot of runners here. Steve O94, 1:31.2 in the Williams, and then we've got T-Matter 1:39, 1:30.9 that is, and then XRL OGS 1:30.5, so pace has been up and down.
Everyone's getting invites to Sean's party now.
Most one nerd is saying that he was apparently only 0.3 tenths off his Experience Championship racer Carter after an hour practice session. Well, you might have some competition for that for being good, Dan.
Right, well, I'm really pleased to say how many people have watched stream. You know, there's been anywhere between 15 to 22 people all the way through tonight. It's been really good for your support, guys. It really means a lot for us to continue doing the live streams that we do, doesn't it, Pete?
Yeah, because we're one of the few leagues that actually do stream live, which is something that I love the other leagues and the coverage. I mean, I did actually watch a few videos of ARL, and apart from no commentary not quite being the level we do. Everything about it was fantastic, including the presentation and the music and that. So you guys out there that do put it on like YouTube as highlights, wonderful, you do a great job. But it's nice to actually do it live here on the box with all the interaction from the fans. And the more of you watch, the more interaction we'll get.
Exactly, and it makes me very, very happy to like run a league when you see the amount of people who watch.
Interestingly, LGS has suddenly caught right to Jambo. Has Jambo suddenly hit the cliff and will LGS steal one?
I've been on
about
board.
2 seconds behind.
I've been on board. He hasn't been doing that badly.
Well, this is interesting. Let's watch what's going on here. Into the chicane. I think there's a gap of 2 seconds. I was surprised if LGS can close that.
Well,
but stranger things have happened.
Let's keep an eye on this. LGS's lap time as he goes through the start-finish is going to be in the high 31s.
I don't think it's going to be enough.
No, I don't think so either, but it's close, a lot more than what I thought. Ooh, hits the bollard there.
Oh, very close, very, very close to shaving his front wheel then. Very, very close indeed.
Though I've said that, Jambo doesn't look too good on his tyres at all.
No, he doesn't, does he? All of a sudden that gap, this is an intriguing end to the race here. Why were you guys not doing this 5 laps ago? So XRL LGS trying to get close as he can for the last lap steals and get himself onto the podium. Well, that changed the game if he suddenly found himself up on the stats.
He's got all of his curves, but I think he's going to need it. He's going to need it to get to the DRS.
He is going to need it down that long straight. This corner's crucial. If LGS gets a good runner here, he might have a chance.
That's close.
Oh, in the meantime, F1 Nige goes through. He's taken first place.
Not by
Definitely
that much,
doing well
though.
here. I don't think it's enough. I think LGS has just run out of laps and he will be slamming the steering wheel in frustration. But it's all a question of how Jambo takes this last chicane. This is critical. No DRS from LGS here, but if he gets close enough, he might have it on the very final run. No, he's got a bit too wide there, LGS, I think, but at the same time, oh, look at how close this is. Is Jambo doing this on purpose? Is he
He's just playing with him.
And why is LGS starting ghosting? I don't believe it. Unbelievable, this is too close, but he's just out of laps.
Right, so... Sean Bean has sent me a message. Now, I'm guessing he's not very happy. Oh yeah, he's not very happy with me.
In the meantime, let's get the guys who are on the top of the steps in here so we can have their comments on the race. Because these guys worked really, really hard to be able to get there and take their points. So, where's everybody else? Come on, where are you? Looking for all the names, getting all the guys in here. So, F1 Nige, after a start where it looked like things were very, very close, you were able to get the pace you needed to be able to pull yourself back towards the front. How did it feel out there on the track?
Sorry, mate, I didn't hear any of that. You were cracking up. I heard nothing.
Okay, I'll start that interview question again. I don't think it was cracking up. I figured that years ago. So F1 Nige, you managed to hold up the pace there, did quite a lot controlling pace at the front of the race. But of course, the big thing that affected that was the accident in the early laps between my car and landing in the barrier. How did it feel for you on the track?
It was pretty lonely, to be honest.
Right, go again.
Yeah, pretty lonely. It was, I mean, I was at the front quite early on. I was quite surprised to get past LGS as early as I did. And then I knew Andy was going to be soon up my arse. Then he got really close. I don't know what happened to him through the fast left-hander, whether he dropped it or what. But from there on in, it was just trying to keep it smooth.
Well, I mean, you certainly seem to be getting some pressure, but you were certainly able to resist all the main things and take it out from the front. Do you think you've got a great chance next week with more firm flowing track?
I'm not sure. I've been surprised every race when I think that I might be off the pace, and then some races where I think I'm going to be on the pace. So we'll see next week. I honestly couldn't say.
Okay, well, big congratulations for getting on the top step of the podium. We'll go over to you now, Ice Cold Andy. The talking point for the race has to be the lap 21 spin. What happened?
Just went too wide in the AstroTurf and then spun the back end run in the barrier. Simple as, really. Like, I mean, it was just, I think it was just pushing too hard, and then, yeah, I made the mistake, so my fault.
Well, in the meantime, you still gave yourself a chance. You had plenty of pace towards the end. Did you think you might have just had enough on strategy, or did you think Nige just had enough in the bag?
Well, I'm just one of those sort of people who, you know, pushes flat out throughout, and, you know, I'm always in a position to capitalise on other people's mistakes, so I just thought that I'm just going to push as hard as I can, and maybe on maybe very, very slim, you know, Nige could make a mistake, or his tyres could wear out, or something like that, but, you know, it didn't work out, but, you know, second place is good enough, and, it's all about getting the points, so, you know, I'm still happy to capitalise on a bad situation.
Okay, well, thank you all for attending this week and doing such a good race. Well, in the meantime, we would ask Jambo for his comments, but unfortunately I don't think he has a microphone, so he's not able to join us here for this podium performance. In the meantime, tomorrow night you do have the GP2 division. They will be live at the same time on Channel 1 only, because I will be covering that, along with XRL LGS. And then we've got GP3 on the Tuesday night. That might be streamed live or it might be locally recorded. And then we've got the double header of F4, F5000 on the Wednesday. Again, could be a split between live stream and local recording there. And then we've got the double header of the 80s and the 90s classics on the Thursday night. And next Sunday we do go over to the Hungaroring in Budapest for the next round of the XciteRacingLeague Formula 1 division. But from all of us, from GamePod.co.uk and G20 Omega Racing, thank you all very much.